So you might want to move up to where you can see the pictures. So a story that I always remember out of the Bible is when the Samaritan woman went to the well to draw water. And Jesus was there, and he asked her for a cup of water, and she couldn't believe a Jew would ask her, a Samaritan woman, to give him anything. So that kind of ties in with Christian's lesson of the personal relationship that he wants with all of us. And the other story I want to tie this into is the faith of the mustard seed. It just takes just a little bit to be able to spread God's word and God's love and the relationships that we can create through Jesus Christ. So it all starts with water. Jesus is the life-giving water. We help provide and use water as a springboard and an opportunity to open a door, to tell other people about the saving graces of Jesus. Like Christian said, over 30 years ago, we went up to a little village called Winchiki and drilled the first well. From that, everything I'm going to show you has spawned from one well in Winchiki, just to alleviate dirty, contaminated water. The first one I want to show you is Village of Hope. Like Christian said, Village of Hope is the largest orphanage in the country of Ghana. And it's a Christian orphanage. The kids are taught about Christ, raised up through the church, sent to school, sent to secondary school if they qualify, and then on to college. When those college students leave from break, a lot of them during Christmas time come back to the Village of Hope because it's their family. The house parents, the other children, that's all their family. This is just the guard shack as you come in, and they're wanting to build a bigger one. This is Hope Hospital, which is one of the region's largest full-service hospital with a surgical ward, maternity ward, men and women wards, and also what's new is they've started taking in infants from the state as orphans. The particular house on the right is a staff house for two couples that take care of those infants. The big dirt berm that you see is the future plans for the care house for those infants. It's a little better picture. When we were there, we were able to dedicate that house, and that house was dedicated in Mary Chisholm's name, which was real special. This is the Traverse City house, the first house at Village of Hope. They just got done renovating it, painting it, and started to move back into it. There's some more staff houses, just some more pictures of kids at the school and around the school. Every time you walk, you can't walk anywhere on the Village of Hope campus without kids all coming. This is the elementary school and middle school. Each floor has a few different grades all the way up to 8th grade. And then 9th grade starts your high school. Boys' dorm, the middle school is all boarding. So all the kids that attend the middle school stay. This is the boys' dorm. Here they're getting ready to take their showers. So the way they take a shower, traditional Ghanaian shower, is a bucket of water and a cup. You dip that cup in, get yourself wet, suds up, and then rinse yourself off. They do laundry that way too, yeah. Well, yeah, you can. I've done that. But the children at Village of Hope are all taught the original Ghanaian ways. Thankfully, where we stayed, they had regular shower. This is the girls' dorm. The school again. This is just around the campus. This is their kindergarten and preschool. This is the house that we were able to stay in. It was very comfortable. Sunday morning we went to Hope College, which Hope College is our equivalent to high school, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. The singing at Hope College is just amazing. It's amazing. With those steel rafters, everything just echoes. And the kids are really good in singing. And not all those students are Christians. Hope College has tested out at the end of 12th grade some of the highest scores in all of Western Africa to be able to go on to their universities. So it's become a very desirable school to send your child. There's close to 300 students. So they're told right up front that this is a Christian high school. And you will take part in worship and devotion, and a lot of the kids end up being baptized. This is the one of their classroom banks. Their main campus for classrooms is just a big square, and there's a big open area in the center, and that's that bricked portion. This is the back side of the high school. This is the boys' dorm, I believe. Yeah, boys' dorm. The staff house for the housemaiden and the housemaster. This is the hall that we attended church in. Yeah, the high school. Their soccer field, they're big, big, big on soccer. This is the science and arts building. More staff houses. This was newly built and dedicated while we were there as well, in the memory of Karen Chisholm. It's an infirmary. So when the kids get sick, they can go to the Hope Hospital, and then they'll get medicine. Then they'll send them back into the dorm, and then they spread the sickness and germs to every kid. So what they set this up is if they have a headache or feeling a little sick, they've got a 24-hour nurse on duty, and they can stay there and isolate the kids so they don't spread it throughout the whole school. And it's really nice. When I was walking around taking pictures, I happened to catch the end of dinner. So these girls are eating kiki. Kinky. Thank you. I always say that wrong. Kinky. It's a corn-based ball of dough, basically. Doesn't have much taste. It's kind of glumpy. You don't want to chew it. But it's very filling and very satisfying. And then they'll have an okra soup or a fish soup. And that's their fish, the fish soup. And it's hard to see, but that is a fish head in the little bowl. They asked me if I would like some, and I kindly told them I already had ate. Then after dinner, they have to wash their own dishes. And as I was walking back to our place where we were staying, Tom and I caught the sunset with the corn in the background and just thought it was real pretty. This is the start of the Vocational Training Center, which all of our change is collected to feed the street children. Well, they use that mission of feeding the street children here at the Vocational Training Center to recruit students to come and learn a vocation. So they get them off the streets. They have to agree to attend worship, attend Bible study, attend all their other rules and regulations while they're at Vocational Training Center, but they're housed, fed, and taught a vocation. This is their main campus and then dining hall underneath. This is the original Village of Hope house, where it started, where everything started. And as Village of Hope grew, they had to expand into a village probably about 2 hours away, drive time because the traffic is so horrific. But that's in Guma Feta, and this is right in the greater Accra area. Now it doubles as the boys' dorm. This is the girls' dorm, and their capacity is 50 students for 4 years, right? Yeah, it's a 4-year program. This is the old weaving and hairdressing training center, and this is their new hairdressing and weaving center. It's really nice. They also teach them leatherworks and sewing, and this is some of the things that they make. This is the hairdressing salon. This building houses the sewing, where they make uniforms. They make all their own uniforms in-house for the Vocational Training Center and for Village of Hope, Hope Christian Academy, and Hope College. They also will train them in auto mechanics, and here they check the blinker fluid. The blinker fluid.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, well, where's the blinker fluid? And he's got blank looks. Yeah. So, way back when, Heritage Christian Bible Institute was formed. And that's another mission, and had a lot of its origin here in Traverse City. They have now taken over the Project Timothy training. And for you people that don't know Project Timothy, it is they take local leaders of the churches in the north. It's a 4-year program now, and they actually get a certificate, an associate's certificate on preaching in the Bible. Sorry. But they also have grown into a university for the country of Ghana that have business. They've just added nursing. What else do they? Computer science, life science, business degrees. Yeah. For Heritage College.
Just for the college?
Yeah. For the university, I'm sorry. Oh, I guess I don't have to keep turning around. The main building in the background is the original building that was just a first floor, and the college or the university has grown considerably over the last 30 years. This, there's the, what was he? Not the, Provo, yeah, of the university was showing us the new nursing training center. Here we had a meeting with everybody involved with Project Timothy and was talking about challenges and what we'd like to do. Yes, please. Thank you so much. Oops. That's we stayed at Samuel and Teresa Tumasi, and some of you know Samuel. He's been here, and Teresa a number of different times. But they were gracious hosts and put us up for the evening so we could catch the flight up to the north. Thankfully, we don't drive. It is about the size of Kansas if you tip it on end. And you wouldn't think, driving from the Missouri border to the Colorado border would be, it's not too bad. Do it in a few hours. To drive to the north, it's roughly about 12 to 13 hours because of the roads. So we have opted to fly. This is Comfort. Comfort met us at the airport up in Tamale when we landed. Comfort came to the Village of Hope as a very young child and was sponsored by a couple here in Traverse City. Went through all the schools at Village of Hope. She's getting ready to go on break, and she was going back to the Village of Hope. She now has a little boy, and she is just finishing up her certificate for primary education. So when we gave her a ride back into town, and all she talked about was going home for break, and that's the Village of Hope. There is that have graduated through Village of Hope. They have graduated doctors, lawyers, accountants, politicians. Yeah.
These people are all now leaving the country.
Yes.
Send some of our politicians over there.
Why? We won't go there. Sorry. So we made it to the north. I'm really sorry, but we made it to the north, and this is Costech Science and Technology School, which is a junior high that focuses on the sciences and technology, and it's up in Yindi, where the water project is. And just a few pictures of their campus and students in class. They have also introduced computer technology IT class that they go out to the rural villages and help those students learn about the computer, because at the end of their schooling through junior high, they have to write a national exam to be able to place them to go on further in school. Some of those questions on that test pertain to IT and what a computer is, and a monitor, and so on and so forth. But these kids in these rural villages don't have access to that. So Costech saw another opening to be able to go out and share this, and to be able to use that as a opening other doors to teach the love of Christ. When we were there, there happened to be the news media for Ghana, Joy TV, and there's a real nice news article that we saw. This is a picture of the Ngani Church of Christ. It's about 15 feet wide and 20 feet long. And our congregation here sponsors Daniel, who is the lead evangelist for that congregation. It's his home congregation, and he also works with about 7 other congregations, 7 to 10. This is worshiping, and this was a couple years ago, worshiping inside that building. If you can see real faintly, there's Kim sitting in the corner by the window. It was extremely, extremely hot in there. It was probably like 120. Talk louder. This is their new church building that you all have been helping to construct. The church has grown from about 40 to right around 120 to 150, depending upon the farming, time of year for farming. There's also a well right next to it that God bless. This village is extremely difficult to get water in because it's so close to a river. And it sounds strange that if you're close to the water, you should be able to get water easily out of a well. They drilled probably 4 boreholes all around the village to try to get water, and they finally got water right next to the church building.
What about the village of Polk? Does it have that must have a well?
Yeah, they have multiple wells. It's a little easier in the south to get water. This is the inside. They're currently using it. Then we were able to meet the drill team, the drill crew. The gentleman in the white, that's Nat Jr., Nathaniel Adams. He grew up in the water project. His father, Nathaniel Adams Sr., was a director for a long time and has since retired. This is the newest rig that we had purchased. I think it was 2 years ago. No, a year ago. They just took delivery last July. And so far to date this year, they've drilled 18 wells, I believe. And now is the start of the rainy season, so imagine that big truck going to these remote villages on little 2-track roads in the mud. It gets stuck, so they kind of quit. We were blessed to be able to go and see the rig drilling a borehole, and they hit water. And that's the most gratifying. You see all the piles of little gravel, that's granite, and they have to drill through granite, and it's roughly 300 feet they're going for water right now. And when they're drilling through that granite, that big yellow thing on the back is an air compressor, and it's a hammer drill. and it blows all that granite back out of the hole, and it is extremely dusty. That's why you see the driller, that's Maxwell. He's covered in that white dust. He is so happy when he hits water because he can clean all that dust and dirt off, and he definitely takes a shower first. He deserves it. Maxwell, was it 2016 that you were there with Mark and Shelby? Yeah. Shortly after that, Maxwell was baptized. When you were there? Okay. Couldn't remember. So the whole village turns out when we're drilling, or when they're drilling, and they come and they have their water containers just ready. And when they hit water, it seems like the village doubles because the amount of people that come. Here is the drill crew. Maxwell is the head driller. He's wearing the yellow hat, and he's currently training one of the other drillers as an apprentice.
Greg, you remember what he told us at that meeting? He says that he's real happy with this new rig.
Oh, yeah.
It's so strong. And he says, and it took us so long to get it, we should start now.
Yeah, start raising for another drill rig. Yeah, it is. It's so hard on the equipment over there because of the roads, because of what they have to drill through. It's just incredible on how beat up cars, trucks, and equipment gets. We were able to go to a well dedication on a different day, and as we went through the village and through the bush, all these people were singing and dancing and getting ready to dedicate a well. We're all walking. Some photographer had his finger in the way. Tried to get it out of there, but this well that we were going to dedicate was right next to another church. Funny thing, how things work out. When the water project goes into a community and gets a successful well, then they turn around and teach a group of 4 to 5 people on health and sanitation and maintenance of that well. And then at the end, and the reason why there's a dedication is to turn that well back over to the community. So it's their well. They take care of it. They service it. That it's called a What Sand Committee. They're taught on the maintenance and given some spare parts, and also taught to create a revenue source and to be able to charge just a little bit for the water so they can buy replacement parts. And then because the well is so expensive to put in, if they take care of it, it'll last. If they don't take care of it and kids play on it and use it as a seesaw, then it'll break down, and then the water project has to come back, tear it all apart, redo it, and it's far more expensive. Here they're handing over, this is Kim's sister Mikey and Tom's oldest sister. She's handing over basically the spare parts and equipment to keep the pump going. And everybody was happy, and I couldn't resist this picture. where this well was drilled, and like many of the wells that are drilled, was probably only 1/8 of a mile from the village. This little girl would have had to walk probably an average of 2 miles just to fetch dirty water, contaminated water. The well and the water is such a blessing to be able to provide the fresh, clean water. She'll have more time because they have to go twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, to fetch the water. So she'll have more time growing up to spend at home with her parents, in school. The kids, they don't get thirsty and leave school. And her life will be forever changed with that one well. It's all about water. Life-giving water. And through the ability of being able to provide just a little bit of water, clean water to people, it's a door that's opened to be able to share the gospel and share the life-giving water that we all enjoy. To date, we're roughly have serviced 2.5 million people with fresh, clean water. Drilled over 1,500 wells, active wells, and rehabilitated over 2,500 wells.
Beyond the 15, you rehabilitated?
Another 2,500 that other people had drilled.
Yeah.
We went over and rehabilitated that well, or the water project has.
Yeah.
But when I say we, that's everybody here has had just that small little part, and one small little part can do such great things. That's why we partner with Healing Hands, because their mission is the same, is to provide clean water and an open door to be able to share the gospel. We partner with UNICEF, with some other government agencies in Ghana and other countries. Bear Valley School of Preaching. We've partnered with them to be able to help us put on some seminars, as well as enrichment seminars for the preachers. So it's all, I don't know why this thing keeps moving.
I didn't realize that Ghana was that green.
Season right now, and we were there just at the beginning of the rainy season, which a little sooner. Yeah, and then it gets really dry. In January, February, the humidity up in the north is about 5 to 10%. So it gets real dry. But that was our recent visit. Want to encourage everybody to turn out for the walk. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to simulate the quest for water that the women and children have. We're going to start at Hall Park and walk up the east side of the Boardman Lake. So it's a nice, flat, paved walkway. So it's real simple. And then got a couple little surprises for you when you get up to the turnaround point. So you'll have to come and see what that is. because I'm not going to tell you. Does anybody have any questions? For, yeah, right in the park, in Hall Park. You come down Woodmere, and then right when you get to Hannah Avenue, you take a left. It's behind the library.